Radhe Radhe. Welcome to Krishna Bhakti Ras 25.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita
I shall share with you today a story from the Ramayan. And this is a story that I think many of you must not have heard before.
Patita Pavana Sita Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana.
When Lord Ram got ready to go to the forest, of course we know that Mother Sita wanted to go with him. It is said that Mother Sita was brought up with all the comforts, not only in the house of her parents, but also in the palace of King Dashrath and Ma Kaushalya. And Ma Kaushalya even had carpets put up everywhere that Mother Sita had to walk, so that Mother Sita would never have to step on the ground. This is how she had lived her life. But she got ready to go to the forest. She gave up all her ornaments and everything, wore the clothes of a sannyasin, and was ready to go. But when they reached the forest, and she had walked only just 9 steps, she got tired. And she asked Lord Ram, "How far do I still have to walk?" And Lord Ram said, "You have not even walked 14 steps, and you have to keep walking for 14 years. Are you sure you can do this? Or would you like to go back to Ayodhya?" Of course, Ma Sita is the eternal mother. And she could do it, and she did it. But she only said this, that it was hard or she was tired, to give an example. To give an example to husbands and wives, that no matter how difficult the going is, no matter what difficulties there are, but they must support each other and go with each other. Each step of Ramayan has a learning behind it. Each character of Ramayan has a learning behind it. And then Lakshman, he came running when he heard that Lord Ram was going. And he said, "I want to go with you." And Lord Ram tried to dissuade him. He said, "No, Lakshman, you stay behind. Because Bharat is not here. Shatrughan is not here. Our father is sick. I am leaving. Who will protect Ayodhya? You stay here." And Lakshman said, "Lord, look inside my heart. And if you find anybody in my heart besides you, then don't bring me." Of course, Lakshman is Sheshnag. He was an expansion of Krishna, of the Lord himself, and he was always with Krishna. So finally Lord Ram agreed, but he said that you have to first go and get permission from your mother. So Lakshman went running to Sumitra, his mother. And when she saw him, she said, "What are you doing here? Today is the coronation of your brother Ram. You have been born to serve him. You should be with him." She had not yet heard that there was no coronation going to take place. And Lakshman told her everything about the demands of Kaikeyi, and Sumitra was shocked. She said, "Lakshman, then what are you doing here? You should be going to the forest with your brother. You have been born to serve your brother. This is the only purpose of your birth." And she said, and so Lakshman told her that yes, Ma, I wanted to go, but Lord Ram said that I must come and take the permission of my mother. And Sumitra said, if that's the case, why did you not just fall at the feet of Sita, who was right there next to Ram? She is your eternal mother. I am just your mother in this birth. So go, my son, go. And I will not give you a hug till you serve your brother for 14 years and come back. That is the only time I will hug you. Look at the character of Sumitra. Her selflessness, her humility. So Lakshman went. What about the wife of Lakshman, Urmila? She was only 17 years old at that time, and Lakshman was 27. Did Urmila try to stand in his way and make a fuss? Did she say, don't go? Did she say that I want to go with you? The meaning of Urmila means the one who is always in tune with her husband, fully in tune with every need, every desire of the husband. She wanted her husband to go and look after Lord Ram. She thought that if I go with him, I will be a hindrance because he will have to look after me. How can he look after his brother and Mahasita? So you know what she did? She went inside and prepared a thali, puja thali, with a ghee lamp, garland, tilak, and she was ready waiting at the gate of the palace, waiting to give him good wishes, garland him before he leaves. But Lakshman, he did not come back. He did not come to his wife Urmila to ask for permission. He did not come to say goodbye to her. She was standing there with the thali. And someone said, your husband is so cruel. He didn't even come back to see you before leaving. But she was Urmila, always in tune with her husband. And she said, no, he did the right thing. He was going for such a noble cause. He is going for such a noble cause. He didn't want to stop and look back. And if I am pious, if my love and faith in my Lord Lakshman is true, this thali will remain for 14 years. The ghee lamp will be burning 14 years later without adding oil to it. The garland will remain fresh for 14 years. If I'm a pious wife. And when he comes back victorious after 14 years, I will greet him with the same thali. So look at the character of Urmila, of Sumitra, of Lakshman, of Mahasita. So they left for the forest. When 14 years were about to end and the war with Ravan was going on, as we know, Lakshman was wounded very badly in the war. And the doctors or the Vaidyas said that they need a special herb before sunrise the next morning to heal him. Now that herb was available only all the way up in North India. And this war was being fought in Lanka. Hanuman went flying to get the herb. And as we know, he could not find the herb because the mountain had so many herbs on it. He picked up the whole mountain and was flying back to Lanka because he was rushing. He had to be back before daybreak. and his route on the way back took him over Lanka, over Ayodhya. And Bharat was standing guarding Ayodhya. And he saw this strange being flying over Ayodhya in the middle of the night, carrying a mountain. And he felt that this must be a demon. And what if he drops the mountain on Ayodhya? What will happen? So he shot an arrow at Hanuman. He did not know Hanuman. And Hanuman came crashing down to earth. And as he lay on the ground, all he was saying was, Ram, Ram, Ram. Bharat was shocked. He said, who is this strange being taking my brother's name? So he approached Hanuman, and Hanuman told him the whole story about Sita being kidnapped, about the war being fought, about Lakshman lying in the battlefield, and how badly they needed that herb to save his life. And Bharat gave a loud cry and said, I am the most unfortunate. Why did I not die in my mother's womb? My brother Ram was banished because of me. Our father died because of me. My mother Sita was kidnapped because of me. And now I have shot down Hanuman, and my brother Lakshman might lose his life because of me. And hearing this loud cry and commotion, all the mothers came running out. And when they heard the story of Hanuman, Kaushalya, the mother of Ram, told Hanuman that you tell my son that if Lakshman does not live, then I don't want Ram to come back to Ayodhya. If he could not protect my younger son Lakshman, tell him not to come back. And Sumitra, the mother of Lakshman, told Hanuman, Hanuman, don't give that message to Ram. Tell him that if anything happens to Lakshman, I will send my other son Shaturghun to protect him. And tell him to complete his 14 years and come back. We are waiting for him. We are all waiting for him. And then Urmila, the wife of Lakshman. And yes, first, the mother of Lakshman, Sumitra, she asked Hanuman, where was my son injured? And Hanuman said, he was injured in the chest. And Sumitra said, I'm happy. My son is very brave. He got injured fighting the enemy. And he was not shot in the back running away. I am proud of him. And then Urmila came out, and seeing all this commotion, she said, why are you all so worried? My husband, my Lord Lakshman, is safe. Nothing has happened to him. And see this thali that I had kept 14 years ago. The flowers are still fresh. The lamp is still burning. I have not added oil in this lamp since 14 years. And if something had happened to my Lord, the lamp would not be burning anymore. He's just tired in battle. He just wanted to sleep in the lap of his brother Ram for one night. Look at the strength of Urmila. Look at her piety. And as we know, Hanuman did make it back to Lanka on time. Of course, his Pavan Putra Hanuman. Lakshman was saved. Ram was victorious. And as we know, they all came back to Ayodhya. This story, or Ramayan, tells us about family values, how family members supported each other, respected each other, loved each other, and above all, how they valued the service to the Lord. They knew that Lord Ram was the Lord himself, and service to him meant everything to them. Let us try to imbibe as many lessons as we can from Ramayan. Thank you for listening. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Radhe Radhe.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव